Welcome everyone to the Real Whovians cast. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Scott. What's up, Scott?
Part 8 of the alternate route 4 will be out between today and Sunday.
Oh, your cliffhanger saga, yes.
About Jodie Whittaker.
Our writer, Mr. Scott here, the blind dyslexic, is writing stuff. All right, what's up, Vaughn?
What's up?
What's up, Chris?
An alien that only eats inorganic matter and is really durable. Where have I seen that before?
I've seen that in Galaxy Quest, Lilo and Stitch, Men in Black. Is there anything else?
Yes, specifically one of my favorite heroes, Ben 10,000,
There you go.
turned into a species that does that exact same thing.
Okay, so here's the thing I need to talk about with Doctor Who. I've been out and about, okay, and I've talked to, because I wanted to know in retail's perspective how this new merch of Doctor Who, Jodie Whittaker's merch, is selling. And the overall consensus that I've gotten is what did we say, Scott? That I said this when we predicted what was going to happen. I said that it's going to go clearance.
Yep.
It's going to fail. It's going to be hard.
It's not going to go to the dollar bin. It's going to go to the penny bin.
Okay. So what I've gathered from these managers is that it's not selling at all. At all. And it's like they don't want any more merchandise. Because it's catering to one audience.
Yeah.
Female audience. And the females don't like it. So,
oh, God.
It's like, if you would have made it where it was a guys too, it would have been, but no, okay. So the merchandise is failing. That's been pretty much apparent. It looks like they're BBC is gonna have a hard time getting people to get new merch for the next season of Jodie Whittaker. I have to give a critique to Chris Chibnall.
Oh no. Oh no.
Could you please stop anything you do with Doctor Who? Leave your personal opinions of the world out of Doctor Who.
Told you so.
Stop trying to be like Moffat, but then trying to show that you're smarter than Moffat and Russell T Davies. And you make an episode titles that people cannot even pronounce. Or you imagine if people actually like the episode, they can't even pronounce the episode. Even though I said it maybe 35 times, I still can't say the name of the episode right.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go to Google. I have to get the Google Voice thing to actually tell me how to say the conundrum. Okay? Like the T is silent. So, like, if you look now with halfway points, there is nothing in this series that gives me any inkling that there is anything memorable about this season. These characters are not.
That's pretty much it.
These characters are not merchandisable. The stuff that happens in the episode is not reality, not merchandisable, not accurate. Some of the stuff she says, Chibnall is definitely trying to say that there was a whole another cycle of doctors before Hartnell with a female, and you cannot do that. Mm-hmm. You are really pissing off the only people that are sticking with the show. You're pissing them off too now.
And that's pretty much the new fans too.
Now, for some reason, the ratings are doing well enough in the UK where they're saying, God, and they're going to be beginning pre-production now. But you got to do a whole 180 with the next season.
Mm-hmm.
And she needs, obviously I wanted multiple companions. But if you can't write for multiple companions, then you can't do multiple companions.
No.
And you can't write every episode either. Just let them do their own stuff. So we got lies this season. We got lies where he said that they're not connected. No. Every episode's connected. It's a story arc. Everything's connected. Everything's connected. One more time, everything's connected.
Tim Shaw, his race.
The educational things. See, here's the thing. I'm starting to think that as much as like he may be a great writer, he's not a great writer with Doctor Who.
He's trying to turn it into Broadchurch. That's what it is.
I don't know what he's trying to do, and I'm very, very worried about the future of Doctor Who. The problem is we give ratings to these things, but we need to adapt a new rating for this, because even if I liked episodes or whatever, they're not rewatchable. There's something about the season
it's not memorable. It's easily forgettable.
I mean, I can't rewatch these episodes anymore. I don't need like with old classic Doctor Who and even New Who, you could rewatch it when it comes on.
This one you cannot do that.
But something about this episode irks me. Like maybe it's the PC, the Social Justice Warriors, whatever it is. And it just irritates me that I can't watch these episodes again.
And we want to watch them.
I can't.
But we can't.
Something gets me very angry when I watch this. So, Chris, you saw the last episode, right?
I did.
And what did you think of it?
I thought it was really boring, and I was counting the minutes until The Walking Dead came on.
Right. The thing is,
But that pregnant guy, boy, that kept us riveted to our seats.
Well, you know what I love about that? Is like this whole thing about there being like no gender and whatnot. But that guy was like, oh yeah, the men have boys and the women have girls. And it's like, well, then they have gender.
Yeah.
Well, why don't they call the men mommies then? Because
yeah, exactly.
The woman takes care of the kids. Is that what? So you're trying to be hip, but then you're being stupid. Like you don't know what you're talking about, because you still want to have the norm that the woman takes care of the kids and the dad, even if he gave birth to it. No, you would probably say that the guy was a mom. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
There was one thing I liked about this episode, and it was, we got some more character development with Ryan, which I thought was really good with talking about his dad.
Yeah. Right.
So I was like, okay, that's fine. Everybody else.
I like the techno babble. Like they just shoot up the doctor.
I thought every other character was useless except for that nurse at the beginning who got killed, of course. And I'll tell you what, the one thing that really made me mad was when the Thing ate the sonic screwdriver. I was like, yes. And then at the end, she's like, oh, it's self-rebooted. And I was like,
yep, I remind you about that.
That pissed me off.
Because the TARDIS can't replicate that. Can it? Not really.
I don't know. It's made out of Earth parts and an alien crystal. So, I mean.
This is what they should do with Ryan's dad. This would be a great nod to him.
Is anybody going to care by that point in time when we get to the 13th episode?
Not, but this is what they should do. This is what they should do. Ryan encounters his dad, and he says, oh, yeah, I was at her funeral. He had stepped in, but he stayed in the back because he knew how much Ryan and the family disliked him. So just before he went up there and gave his final words, that's when he left. That's what they should do. They should say,
it was a small
I know how everybody felt about me and the way I treated her. I left. So
yeah, but it was a small church. You know
it would be really interesting if his dad was a member of UNIT.
Yes.
And that's why he was never around.
Yes. That would be good.
That would explain a lot of things, and he never said.
It's so weird to see what Chibnall's going to use and not use. Because we're hearing things like,
good writing.
He's open to using Harriet Jones' part, because Russell T. Davies, they got permission. But then he doesn't want to use the Weeping Angels. And I'm like, well, wait, why?
He may go out and say, well, Ryan's father was the one that actually saved Harriet Jones, and that's how he disappeared.
See, the weird thing I don't understand is I don't understand, like, we're going to have a Paternoster gang now, audio, right?
Which we should have.
So that goes to show me that it's not a thing where Moffat won't not allow them to use his stuff, right? So why is, if Jodie Whittaker and all the companions, they were doing one of those confidential type of things, and they're saying that they all want to face against the Weeping Angels, right? Why is he dead set against never having the Weeping Angels in there?
Because he doesn't want to use something from a past series. He wants to establish his own stuff.
But it's not working, his own stuff.
Well, I mean, he thinks it is, though. That's the thing. So he's looking at the ratings, and he's like, oh, yeah, it's working.
Yeah, it's not working.
But in the long run, will the ratings be there enough to say, for him to look at and go, oh, yeah, this was really good?
Well,
No,
this is the thing, though. I honestly think that the BBC is in their own world where they're like, yeah, all this is fine. It's working. We did a good thing. And they don't care what people like us say. They don't care. They don't care. Anybody who has a dissenting opinion is either a misogynist or in the past, and they don't care.
So this, how long has this been happening with the BBC? That they've been like
a long time.
The whole time with Moffat.
I think honestly it started shortly after Matt Smith became the Doctor. It just wasn't as apparent until it really ramped up when Capaldi became the Doctor. And that's why I honestly think the opinion of Capaldi's era is that it wasn't good there, which is insane. But,
because he was an old man, and they didn't want somebody old as the Doctor. They wanted them young, so all the teeny bopper, all the tweens and whatever can go, oh yeah, I want him on my wall.
Uh-huh.
And so they got Chibnall, and Chibnall was like, I have to have a female Doctor, and then it was like, okay, fine.
I have, I'm going to speculate for a second here, and you guys can tell me what you think. Here's the thing. If the Doctor didn't have cycle regenerations, right, but yet he keeps mentioning that he was a woman, could they introduce something into canon that the Time Lords have this technology where they could just, as part of the academy, that the Time Lords have to be another gender, and they give them like they mind swap or put them in another body.
That's bad, right?
As like a horse or something. Because how could it be explained? Chibnall was flat out saying there was another female in there. Like he was
copying. What they're doing is, I can't remember the episode of DS9, but Dax, the symbiote, was in another body before
Jadzia Dax.
Before Jadzia. And to me, that's what they're trying. What Chibnall's doing is he's mimicking that DS.
But he's just trying to say he's trying to change canon.
Well, you know what's
trying to follow through with the SJWs. That's all.
You know what's really kind of scary is that if you look at that trailer for the next episode, the Demons of Punjab or whatever it is, it looks like Jodie Whittaker has a flashback to that barn that Matt Smith was in, and then one that Capaldi went to during his time as the Doctor when he went back to Gallifrey.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
Oh, no.
Does that tie into what the handkerchiefs were telling her?
Probably.
Really think about this. Think about what they said. They said, oh, she doesn't know. She doesn't know. What if they're saying that, oh, she doesn't know that she was a woman once?
Oh, God.
But she keeps saying she was a sister, though.
God.
Why does she keep saying she was a sister?
That doesn't make sense, though. Because why would they have a child boy actor to play the Doctor at that young age? That doesn't.
Well, yeah.
Unless he's confused about his gender.
I was just about to say that. Remember Capaldi said that they don't have a concept of gender? What if they do something idiotic like that?
Jesus Christ.
See,
oh my gosh, you know what they might do?
God.
They might say that the Doctor, since he was a male all this time, he always perceived himself as a male when he was younger, but he actually wasn't.
Oh, God.
Oh,
let's not
come
go that
on.
way.
How would he be a male then?
How-
make himself male?
Here's the thing: how was he married and had children? That's the problem with that concept.
What if he literally had the children though? Like, what if they were
God, what
literally
the
gave birth
fuck
to?
is going on with this show?
Well,
I don't think
folks,
they're
like I said, alternate route
This-
4.
Fuck.
None of this. None of
So that's
this.
why they had the pregnant man to try to ease us in.
None of because he was an alien.
Fuck
He's an
that.
I
alien.
was just joking. I was just kidding. I don't think.
Fuck that.
You know, they
Fuck
might
that.
pull a stunt like that though. Don't,
Oh,
don't
I
even-
honestly think they're gonna say that he was a woman once. I really do. I think
Fuck.
they're gonna do something where he either had like a regeneration that went wrong for a little while, and then I don't know. You know,
Well, like they're teaching them how to regenerate, but they don't really count it as a regeneration.
maybe.
And then he regenerated into a woman, and then regenerated back into a man. Got scared.
Yeah, maybe when I mean I'm trying to think of a doctor that I mean we never really saw a doctor not regenerate except for the War Doctor.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I got to tell you, honestly, if ever there was a way to fix that, because he could not regenerate. They said that it was too far gone. He drank that potion. That potion was specifically
Mm-hmm.
setting that thing. The only way I could explain it is that potion was an extra regeneration, because then he would not have regeneration energy to give to River and Angels Take Manhattan. So, or something. So that's got to be an extra regeneration that never counted. Like, in other words, if you interfere with that, the Ninth Doctor always had to come, but this was put in its place before that.
yeah, I think that's what I think that's what it was.
And that's why when the time came, he didn't need to regenerate. He was just regenerating because the deal was done. It was over. And the potion wore off, no matter how many centuries he was that thing. And then that's it. And then the regeneration.
Unless there was unless that literally, because the way they described it a couple of times, they're literally saying that replaced one of his regenerations and it became.
It didn't replace it. I honestly feel it just stepped in there, like you penciled
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter now. I mean,
Right.
It has no relevance on the plot.
Well,
anymore.
how do we explain do we explain that the Doctor lost a regeneration, giving it to Davros and the Daleks, or is it just regeneration energy?
Well, the way that they make it sound, it's like you need a certain amount of regeneration for energy for a successful regeneration. Because remember when Capaldi was like, "Oh yeah, I'll lose an eye or something or a leg down the line."
Oh yeah,
Remember
because
that
he
one
was
with the
still.
monks?
Yeah, he was still.
Is that why he became a female, because he didn't have enough regeneration energy to be male?
No, I think he just regenerated into a female. Because apparently they can do that now.
See, that's the in canon BS they add in, and now they don't know how to handle it. You
I'm
add
telling
some,
you.
they don't
I'm
know
sorry,
how to
Ron,
handle
go
it. Oh no, I mean, here's the thing. If you're gonna write something like that, you better damn sure know what you're talking about and have something intelligent to go behind this. This is a shock floor. You don't have nothing else to explain this, and now since you done got you can't explain any of this. You just want to cast a female actress without any recognition of the past 50 years of this character and moving forward. It's okay to have her cast, but
I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to make a prediction that all the fallout that the fans are building up against Chibnall is going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Flat out. Maybe he'll do the next season, but we're going to be talking about how Chibnall quit. And then
who said that? Who was making the point that he was either going to be forced out or he's going
right, you did, but that's what it's going to be. It's going to be that
because
and what they should have done with Whitaker's Doctor was this is what I was thinking about the other day. They could have set it up to where the Doctor was either battling alongside another Time Lord or battling this Time Lord. They regenerated into Whitaker. And somehow there was, during the regeneration energy, it was.
Well, they're not
proven
going to. They're not going to erase her.
Hang on, cross transference of memories in some way. So when she walks up, everybody assumes that's the doctor. The TARDIS does not recognize him as the doctor.
Didn't they do something like this in the next Doctor, where this man believed that he was the doctor?
Yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't pull that stunt no more. I mean, that's the
they're
thing.
not going to confuse the shit out of her.
They're not gonna, because
You
I
already
would
saw her
rather,
regenerating in the TARDIS, so you know it's her.
I would rather had them go with the line that she's turning evil. Like, this is something wrong. Something has went drastically wrong, because let's face it, Capaldi was using energy like he was drinking milk.
Well, did you catch the thing in? I want Chris. Did you catch the thing in the Cassandra, whatever, that the doctor said something? Not the doctor, the guy, the physician, said that something was wrong with the doctor, and
something is wrong with her.
Something's wrong with her.
You can clearly see that in the trailer for the Demons of Punjab. There's physically and like mentally something wrong with her, because there's a scene where, and I don't know if you guys saw the trailer already, but there are scenes where she's going in and out of like different realities in her head, and that's where one of them was that barn. She winds up in the barn, and she's like, and so there is something wrong with her, and I honestly think that it had to do maybe with like what Vaughn was saying, where Capaldi put the regeneration off for so long that it fucked something up along the way. Pardon my language, but it screwed something up. I think actually, when she regenerated, not to mention that right after she regenerated, she fell out of the TARDIS and went through a train. So I mean, there's probably something wrong with her.
She got some screws loose. That's what's happening.
But you know what would be interesting, and maybe.
So she has permanent Time Lord brain damage?
No. Like kind of a meta way to do this would be like, maybe the Doctor's consciousness is having trouble adjusting to the fact that he's female. And maybe you could go into that, because I always go back. I've said this 100 times before. I always go back to that scene where the general regenerates, and when she finishes regenerating, she says, "Oh, I'm back to normal, am I?" That means that her becoming a man was abnormal.
We say that all the time. Yes. Yeah. So it's not that it's a regular occurrence, because they looked at her shocked.
No.
Because the whole time she was in that male body, her mind was probably like, something's wrong. This is not normal. And then she regenerates back, and it's like, okay, everything's back to normal.
Right. So it could be a sickness that they switch sex, not that
it's going to be something stupid. Like,
they're not gonna.
So the only way to
something dumbass.
So the only way to fix it is she's going to have to regenerate in 2 years.
Yep.
Right away, purposely, or she's going to die. Right.